All right, Coach, thanks for joining me for another season of Mizzou football as we get ready for UCA on Thursday night. Now, first off, I want to talk about that quarterback competition that you have. You announced that both quarterbacks are going to play in that opener. How did you come to the decision to let both of them play in that first one?
Yeah, well, first off, it's exciting to have another season to be a part of, man. Going into the sixth year at University of Missouri and the trajectory that we're on, really excited about what's ahead of us. The second thing I would say is I'm not letting them play. They've earned the right to play. I think both quarterbacks have done exactly what we've asked them to do from a toughness, preparation, decision-making, accuracy, and leadership standpoint. And both of them had some really good days in camp, and just didn't feel convicted that I just had one that could win. And so really the next step of figuring out who was going to be the starting quarterback was letting them play live and see how that goes, see what the pressure of game week did to them.
As fans get to know this team a little better, going into past years, you've had guys that have stayed here and had a lot of success. You look at Luther Burn III, fans excited about him coming, and Brady Cook and Cody Schrader in years past. But as you look at this team, who are a few guys, or maybe some of your captains, that fans can be excited about watching this year?
Well, I still think there's guys that have been here a while. You know, Marquise Johnson's first career start was against Iowa. He had 7 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. That's a pretty good day at the office, and he's back more explosive than ever. Josh Manning's waited his turn. Brett Norfleet, we've challenged him and our staff to make him more of a focal point of our offense. And, you know, defensively, you know, we've mentioned a lot of names, but you can't forget Tristan Newsom's been a really good player here for a long time. Dalen Carnell's been a really good player here for a long time. Drayden Norwood's been a really good cornerback in this league for a long time. So there's some excitement. Marvin Burke's going on his 3rd year here. I think there's a mix and influx, and everybody always wants to be excited about the new. But there's some old heads running around here that can play some football.
As you enter year 6 here at Mizzou, how is Eli Drinkwitz, the coach, maybe different this time around than he was when he first stepped on campus here in Columbia?
Yeah, I think we're all on our journeys, right? And maturing and growing older and wiser in some of the aspects. I think last year when I look back on the mistakes I made in a leadership position was taking for granted how good we could potentially be on either side of the ball. And I don't think I pushed hard enough to achieve those goals in fall camp. And I didn't want to make the same mistake twice. I felt like there were times in fall camp that I had an unreasonable mindset this year on purpose. Nothing great was ever accomplished without somebody being unreasonable. If people just went through what was reasonable, you wouldn't achieve landing on the moon if we did, or other such great things. And so, you know, I think that was part of my growth in my journey. And obviously, I think there's some other things that we're trying to adopt. You know, being more involved in some phases of the game to make sure that the DNA blueprint that we have, the formula we have, comes to life.
As you look out on that field ahead of week 1, how excited are you to get this thing rolling and get back in front of those fans?
You know, I look back to a game, post-game press conference on the field at Kentucky, and somebody asked me about the start of the year, and I said, why stop now? And that really is still my feelings and sentiments towards Missouri and what we're trying to accomplish. Why stop now? There's a lot left to accomplish. What we've done in the past is purely that. It's the past. What we're trying to accomplish is out ahead of us in the future, and we got to push.
Last thing, did I hear it's a family rivalry this week?
Family, yeah. Yeah, so my sister is a famous alumni of University of Central Arkansas. I have a brother who's a famous dropout of University of Central Arkansas too. Yeah, and Arkansas Tech UCA when I was there that was our big rival.
Well, good luck this week against some family members and, of course, UCA, and thanks for joining us.
As always, MIZ.